Welcome back, everyone, to A Gentleman's Life. Sam here, coming to you from a very blue sky, hot day in Germany. And indeed, I think throughout Europe, it's been pretty hot the past couple days. Been listening to the live radio stream from Wimbledon the past 3 days, and it's been extremely hot in England as well. I know in Germany it's in the 90s the past 3 days or so. Just kind of came out of nowhere, so very hot. Want to say thanks to all my new viewers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I noticed I've had a pretty steady uptick for the past couple weeks, though. So thanks for subscribing. If you have any requests, whether it's questions you'd like to ask or topics you'd like me to cover, or whether you want my thoughts on specific watch brands or your collection or whatever it happens to be, feel free to send me an email. I'll include the email in the description section of all the videos, and get back to you with a video as quick or as soon as I can. I'll add it to my list of videos to do. So yeah, hope you're all enjoying the channel and keep enjoying. Today I'm wearing the Zenith, so there we go, on the wrist again. Can't help myself. Just such a wonderful watch. But on with the video itself. As I mentioned, today's going to be a viewer request video. So the first topic was a comment made on a video a little while back, asking for kind of a desk and room tour. So I'm going to take you on a tour of this room, essentially, just a small second bedroom, but you'll see that in a minute. And the second viewer request was from Tony in England, who was asking what I thought about Raymond Weil watches. So I will move on to that after the room tour. So let's switch it over to first-person view, and you can get a view of my workspace. All right, so here we are, everyone. This is kind of my office space, if you will. As you can see, I'm kind of an organized, chaos, eccentric person, so lots of stuff all over the place. But you can see my office space. So this is actually a second bedroom, and I just kind of use it as a personal space. So you can see here I've got an old, pretty crappy futon. So I have it covered with some blankets. So that's kind of a space to chill and relax and either go through my books, which you can see I got a couple bookshelves there, or down here you can see I've got a second TV, a smaller TV than in my living room, and I will watch some sports or something like that on there. As you've seen the videos before, I got some flags on the wall. So this one on the right side here is a flag for the Chicago Fire soccer club. That's my hometown team. And the one to the left of it is the actual City of Chicago flag. And then, of course, Home Nation flag over on the other wall. And then, as you can see, I've got some mementos from different places I've worked and lived and visited. And then this bookshelf essentially is a mix of historical, military history, war history, and then some classics and religion stuff. So most of this is all military history kind of stuff and historical stuff. And then down here I've got a few classics. I got Beowulf, a couple really old books of Robert Frost and Tennyson poems, Homer, the full Shakespeare, and then the Bible, Quran, some Buddhist stuff. I think to understand people, you need to understand their beliefs, and that's why I have those. And my other bookshelf is just a mixed mash of a whole bunch of different stuff, from fantasy to a lot of Lord of the Rings down there. Got some cookbooks and all sorts of different stuff. But anyways, the main space really is my desk, which you can see here. I got this little side section, and I keep my watches and headphones and random stuff there. And then down below is a couple shelves where I've got language books, travel books, things like that. That's just kind of all my random stuff I've done. And then my actual desk, you can see I've got my my laptop over here, along with my desktop I built over 2 screens. So the desktop is right here, built it myself. I'm mangling the cords right now because I'm in the process of getting ready to move. So I'm not everything's not so organized at the moment. But a bit of a mess at the moment, given my state. I'm moving in the next couple of months. So yeah, when I'm doing videos, I utilize my 3 screens. I record either on my phone or iPad and off of the MacBook Pro, and then edit. I have all my audio that goes in the computer going through this blue microphone, which is increased quality quite a bit. And then I just keep all my other stuff up on these screens, whether it's research I'm doing or emails or anything else. That's what I use the other two screens for. And yeah, that's more or less my desk space. So just some final thoughts regarding kind of my office desk space. As you can see, it's kind of I don't know, I'm a little eccentric, I suppose. I like a little bit of anything. I have a lot of interests, so it's kind of all over the place, really. But for me, the key to kind of your personal space, which for me is this space, is that it needs to be comfortable for you, essentially, and let you be free to do whatever it is that you choose to do. So, you know, on the TV back here, I'll stream some sports, or watch Blu-rays or something like that if I don't feel like doing it in the living room on the really big TV, or if I just want some background noise on the TV, like sports running while I'm working on some work, or the video editing, or even some homework, because I'm trying to, you know, do work full-time and do school, which is not the easiest. And then I've got the bookshelf so I can sit and read if I want, or I can mess around with watches and change straps around or do whatever. Just kind of a nice, comfortable personal space where, you know, you're free to use it as you will, essentially, I think is the key. And you can't have too many distractions, but it's nice to have everything you need in one small space. So that's kind of the gist as to why I have it like this, and you know, I have all many interests within a hand's reach. So that's why I've done it this way. So hopefully that was interesting to you guys. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions on better ways to organize your personal space or set it up, or if you have a different thoughts on what a personal space should be. I'd love to hear in the comments below, or if you have a video response on kind of how you set your space up, I'd be interested to hear. So that covers the first viewer request. And the second one, as I mentioned, is from Tony in England. And he wrote me, and he said, I'm going to read his email over here. Basically, he's been watching the channel for the past month or so. Has been collecting watches for over 30 years, to include a number of vintage Omegas and one of the Bond Quartz Seamasters. And he thought it was interesting that Raymond Weil was a brand that didn't get talked about that much. And he wondered if I thought maybe it's because they don't have a long history in watchmaking. He specifically mentioned the Freelancer chronograph model, so I'll show you guys that in a minute. And wanted to know what my view was on the brand and this particular model. So thanks for the email, Tony. Sorry it's taking me a little while to get to it. Like I said, I got kind of a laundry list of videos to work on right now, so getting this one out and give you my thoughts. I guess I'll start with a little bit of history on Raymond Weil. They are a Swiss watchmaker. They were founded in Geneva in 1976. So relatively new, really. I mean, a lot of the old Swiss watch brands were set up, you know, early 20th century or late 19th century. So, you know, late 1800s, early 1900s, or some are even older. So it's a pretty young company. And I think one of the things about this brand that's interesting to me is it's not that they don't make what I would say are pretty nice watches. I just don't think there is that history or that people expect from some of those high-end watch brands. And maybe there's some other stuff there too. So let's pull up this website and look at the watch he asked about, and then kind of give my thoughts. Maybe we can look at some of the other ones as well, and give my thoughts on what I think. Alright, so here we are, guys. This is the Freelancer automatic chronograph that Tony mentioned in his video. And I think it's got a pretty nice, clean design. I think that splash of yellow really sets off nicely against the steel and the black dial. As you can see here, I'm going to try to use the arrow on the screen. There is an hour counter at the 6 o'clock. You have the seconds at the 9 o'clock, and up at the 12 o'clock you have a minutes counter. And then you do have a day date on the right at the 3 o'clock, and the tachymeter going around the outside. This is an automatic movement. I'm not sure exactly which one, it doesn't mention, but it's an automatic day date with a 46-hour power reserve. Watch is 42 millimeters in diameter, just under 14 millimeters thick. So about what I would expect from, you know, a typical Swiss chronograph. And Tony, stylistically, I think, you know, it's not a bad looking watch at all. Like I said, I really like that splash of yellow against the black. I think it kind of brings it a bit more modern, gives it a nice sporty look. But with the leather and that polished stainless steel, it dresses up reasonably well also. So I think it's a pretty nice looking watch. Let's look at just the overall collection here for men's watches and see the kind of different stuff we have. Let's see, the men's collections. So you've got the Nabucco. Let's look at these here. Tourbillon. That's musically styled. You can tell. You can see the strings as if it's coming off the instrument. Interesting design. Sporty look there. So I'm trying to look through the phone video and then look at the screen at the same time, which is a little difficult. This is a much more classically designed collection here, the Parsifal, for those who like a much more classic look with those nice Roman numerals. The Freelancer, which is the one we just looked at, more sporty. You got the Maestro, which is definitely a classic design, textured dial, nice looking as well, really. And the Tango, also classic dressy design. Toccata, which is more of a modern dressy design. So what I'm noticing here, and maybe my opinion on why these the Raymond Weil watches aren't talked about as much, is not so much that they're not quality watches and not designed well. Looking kind of at their history, I think they can kind of get related somewhat to kind of those department store brands or fashion brands, partially because of where they're sold. So if you look online for Raymond Weil watches, you'll see they're sold at the same kind of places you can buy watches from Guess or Diesel or these other Gucci, these other fashion companies. So although I think Raymond Weil, I would prefer to have one of their watches to one of those watches, I think they sometimes get lumped into that category, possibly. Love to hear anyone else's thoughts on that one, but I have a feeling that is probably what happens. And the only other thing I would say that maybe does it is that the designs, to me, as I look at all of them, I feel like you could take the design, put a different Swiss watching making name on the dial, and it wouldn't be any different. There's nothing to me that says like this is a Raymond Weil watch except for the Raymond Weil on the dial. And that may not matter to some people. I think it does matter to others. I think some people like being able to just glance at a watch and know, oh, that's a Rolex Submariner. Or that is, you know, that's a Cartier tank because it's a distinctive design. Another one would be, you know, the JLC Reverso. I mean, hands down distinctive, you know, or the Omega Speedmaster, the Man on the Moon watch. You look at those watches and you automatically know who makes them and what they are. And looking at the collections for Raymond Weil, I don't see that. I see, I wouldn't call it necessarily generic, but I see designs that you could basically transplant to any other company and the watch wouldn't look any different, or you wouldn't know that it was any different. So So I think that may be part of the reason as to why they don't get talked about as much. They don't have essentially their own distinctive design as much as a lot of the major well-known brands do. But I mean, as far as I can tell, they're fully Swiss made. They have the Swiss movements, and it's not that they're lacking in quality. It's more probably a mixture of length of brand history, design, and marketing and where they're sold. And I think that is probably what causes them to not get talked about that much in watch circles. So that's kind of my thought on the Raymond Weil watches. Thanks for the email, Tony. I guess my final thought is if you don't care about the brand prestige and you like the styling of the watch and it looks like it's made pretty well, which I think the Raymond Weil watches do look like they're made pretty well, then I don't see why it wouldn't be a decent purchase. Just because people don't talk about it doesn't mean it's not a good watch. I think some of the things that turns people off from purchasing or talking about them in the more watch enthusiast community, if you will, is the lack of the brand history and prestige, and where the watches are sold probably reinforces that they're not at the same level as some of the other Swiss watches. Because if you can buy a Diesel or a Guess watch next to a Raymond Weil, how can a Raymond Weil be as good as a Rolex or a Tudor or an Omega or any of those? So that kind of perpetuates that thought process, I think. And then for some, it's just the fact that it feels like you could transplant the design onto any other watch company's watch and you wouldn't know the difference. There's nothing really distinctive about them. But some of the designs do look really nice, and it looks like they're made very well. So to me, if one of them tickles your fancy, I see no reason why it wouldn't be a worthwhile purchase. So thanks for the email, Tony. Really interesting. I hadn't looked at Raymond Weil much before your email, so I did a little bit of research and had a look, and I see nothing wrong with the watches at all. So hope you enjoyed my thoughts on the company and the watch, specifically the Freelancer, and hope you keep enjoying the videos as they go on. And if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. And that kind of covers both my viewer topics for the day, everyone. So thanks for watching. Once again, thanks to all the new and old subscribers. I hope you continue enjoying the videos. If you have anything you'd like me to cover, let me know by sending an email to the email address in the description below. We'll love to hear everyone's comments in the comment section below on either Raymond Weil watches or on your room and desk, office, personal space, either through the comment section below or through video response. So thanks for watching, and until next time.